Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina, and today I have two products to review. The first is a Gillette Goodwill, kindly on loan from Victor Marx. It is a 1931 or later three-piece razor from Gillette. Let me just show you the top cap, which has a little bit of detailing and punch outs, which are fitted to the posts in the base plate. So I'm going to be using a Voskhod blade for today. This is a new blade. Now, when you put this in, by the way, there are basically no guides in the top cap to hold the blade in position. So I will say this has been a little bit fiddly in terms of getting the blade alignment exactly right. But let's see, that looks pretty good. As you can see, very cool design for those posts in the base plate to protrude through the holes in the top cap. A very, very cool design. All right, I am just screwing on the handle gently. I am using a washer again, in part to help protect any pressure on the handle, prevent any kind of cracking. I'm not over tightening it. There is, let me just check the alignment. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There is very dramatic, substantial, pronounced overhang here, so you'll see there are spots in the shave where you really have to watch out for that. And the soap for today is going to be, this has been requested by a number of viewers who have recommended it very highly. It is the Saponificio Varesino, and this is the Felce Aromatica. This is a fantastic fern scent. It is a triple milled soap. As you can see from the box, this is the Beta 4.0. There is a later version of the soap. I would say, first of all, based on my experience with the soap, if this is the one that you have, do not in any way be distraught by the fact that there is a later version of the soap. This soap is fantastic on its own. So let's go ahead and start lathering up the soap. I have it in the Captain's Choice loading bowl, lathering bowl, soap holding bowl. In this case, the manufacturer does recommend that when you begin to lather this, that you precede your lathering by dripping, by just basically covering the surface of the soap with some hot water. I've tried it both ways. Either works. So if you are not actually dripping some water on there to begin with, it really doesn't matter. You can actually get a very, very good lather very easily just using a standard brush and working it a little bit longer. I'm going to be using the Semogue Owners Club today, which is, of course, a boar brush. There was a series of comments on one of the previous YouTube videos by T-Rex, questions about how to actually get a lather out of these hard soaps. And really, for me, it's relatively simple. What you're going to do is, even if you don't add water to the soap when you begin, you have your brush, which is damp but not soaking wet. And as you begin to load, you'll notice that it begins to dry out a little bit. Like you'll sort of see and feel and hear that, okay, maybe it sounds a little bit airy and it just is a little bit dry and pasty. At that point, even if you have not added water to the soap to begin with, just take a little bit of water and just dribble a few drops onto the soap while you're building the lather. I've dripped 3 or 4 drops in there at most. This soap lathers easily and quickly. The scent is definitely stronger as you lather it. It has a very nice light, which to my nose is like a citrusy, outdoorsy fern scent. It is lightly perfumey, and it just smells good. I don't know how else to put it. There are a number of ingredients in here. There's a number of different kinds of oils. There's a variety of perfumes. Yeah, you can see what's happening there. I'm going to build kind of a thick paste onto the brush. And I know that sounds like I'm lathering a lot, but this is a triple milled soap, so I'm just scooping off some off the bowl. This is gonna last and last and last and last and last. Let me just wet my face again, start building a lather. Now again, if you're using a soap like this, like let's say something like the Mitchell's Wolf Fat or the Hustlinger soaps, the hard soaps, any hard soap, once you have your brush loaded, just like every other one, just add a bit of water to the brush before you start face lathering, which for me is my preference. If you're bowl lathering, it's really the same. Just create the lather in the bowl. This lathers up almost immediately. Beautiful soft feel in the face. A light, kind of a light, refreshing, outdoorsy fern scent. A little bit green, if you know what I mean. Not vegetal, but just sort of outdoorsy and fresh. Not a heavy or dark or sort of, you know, overpowering scent. All right, that looks good, but that does not have enough water in it. So let's just drip a little bit onto the brush. And keep building our lather. Yeah, you can hear it starts getting a little bit creamier. You can feel the difference. Yeah, you know, in the old days, when I first started wet shaving, what I used to do was I would start a soap, I would use that soap until it was completely gone, and then move on to the next soap. And I felt like I had earned that next soap. Well, that's really not an option today, just because of the number of soaps I have and the number of soaps I have sort of in the queue for review or for first time use. And new soaps come out all the time. I'm going to add a little bit more water. And this is a triple milled hard puck of soap. This would last, if this was the only soap you're using, this will go and go and go and go. You just don't need that much per shave. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful lather. Now, I had a number of people on the channel had been recommending this and asking when I would have a chance to review it. And I had it sort of sitting on the shelf for a while. All right, let's go and get the razor going. So for the razor, this, I think in terms of head shape, is either the old type and just stamped out of that old type head model, or that head shape. I can't say with hand and heart that I really feel like it shaves exactly the same as the other one, but it is definitely a bit of a kind of a raw is not the right word. A bit of a open blade feel to it. Doesn't feel very sophisticated in terms of design. It feels pretty direct. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Definitely requires very light pressure. This is one of those razors, I don't know if this happens to you or not, but at least for me, there's something about this, sometimes about the audible feedback, something about the way that it sounds. For some of them, I feel like that makes me press down a little bit more. So just really being conscious of the fact, very light pressure. Soap is fantastic. Dense and creamy, really easy to lather. I like the scent quite a bit. Right there for the overhang, really got to watch it. It can just dig into the side of the your windpipe right there. It's been tugging on the upper lip a little bit too, something to watch out for. I have not rushed these shaves. I feel like with this razor, just the way it feels on your skin, and just sort of the amount of blade feel perfectly okay to take a bit of time. No need to rush through. Really excellent slickness. When you get your face wet, now you can just feel just how much residual slickness there is, and there is a lot more water dripping down my arm, as always. Plenty of lather left in there. I may re-lather for the third pass, we'll see, depending on how much there is. But that feels already very slick and kind of creamy and protective. If you live in Italy and you are shaving with a Gillette or an Edge foam or something like that, what are you doing? You need to go get yourself a brush and some of these soaps immediately. It's kind of hard to understand why you'd pick those products. I mean, maybe for time or for convenience, but if you have products this good that are that readily available in your native country, man, I'd be doing that in a heartbeat. All right, this is going to be the across the grain. Again, very light. Yeah, and for those cases where I'm shaving over the skin where there is no lather, that is in part because there is still enough residual slickness that I'm not feeling any kind of tugging or sort of difficulty shaving. The razor still is moving smoothly. So again, and I think this was that same user, T-Rex again, if you are shaving with a fourth pass, let's say, or a close third against the grain, but you're shaving with no lather, you have to either re-lather or really watch how much pressure you're exerting. If you're trying to get a baby butt smooth, sort of a perfect shave, what I see happen a lot is that people just start buffing with pressure because they just want to get it perfectly perfect. And the only result there is often not a perfect shave and irritation or razor burn. And it's perfectly fine to chase that perfect shave, but you also have to recognize that there are some parts of that you just need to first unlearn, and that is the temptation to continue to, to exert pressure while you're shaving. Those times when I really do get an actual BBS, in fact, sometimes I'm not even paying attention when I'm doing it. It sort of happens unconsciously. There we go. Man, that combination, the razor, fresh blade, and the soap, just fantastic. All right, I'm going to just pull out some of the lather from the side of the bowl because there's a bit of a gap between the puck and the sidewalls. Let me see if I can actually get more of that without having to fully re-lather. If I have to, I'll just load again from the bowl a little bit. But again, dripping a bit of water into the brush. The other piece is, if you are shaving 3-pass shave, which of course many of you are, maybe a fourth, depending on the brush you have, in this third pass, just be gentle with yourself. There's really no reason to sort of vigorously lather at this point. You're just gently painting because you may just not yet be aware of building irritation in your skin. And then if you lather too vigorously, you're just adding insult to injury with a bit of brush burn. All right, I'm going to pull just a little bit off the bottom there. Yeah, really good shaves all week, but this has been one of those weeks again where my sort of shave routine has been completely just thrown out of the window. I would normally shave every day in the morning before I go to work, but my current work schedule means I sometimes have to be at work starting at 7, which means I shave at night. So I shaved Sunday afternoon for last week's video. I then shaved Monday morning. I shaved Monday night because I had to be into work early on Tuesday. I shaved Wednesday morning and Wednesday night being early on Thursday. And then I shaved again on Friday morning. So 2 of those days I actually shaved twice in less than 15 hours with this razor. So you can imagine that, yes, being very gentle was critical, and the soap has made a huge difference there. Light, no pressure. And you can hear that? There's a bit of a kind of a burr. It sounds like kind of a rough edge because of the, well, there's still hair there. That's where you really have to watch that you're not pressing down. Other thing I've done is just for the moment is rather than rebuff in that spot is actually do a very quick fourth pass under my chin and around my chin. What I found is if you sort of try to power your way through it, because there is still a bit of resistance, that leads to irritation. And I think it's just better in this case to go for a very quick fourth pass under there. Okay, let's do the rest of the chin. Resist the urge to press, even though there is a bit of a sound. All right, very quick pass underneath the, just around here. Man, loving that soap. It's the only product of theirs I've tried. I haven't tried any of the aftershaves or the balms or any of the other soaps. I haven't tried, obviously, the later version of this puck. I do wonder, I think it's the Italian shaving forum, Il Rasoio. I think that's where a lot of the feedback about the soap, the ingredients, the scents are being provided to this, to Saponificio Varesino, which is kind of a long-standing soap making company in Italy. They've been in business since 1945, and they actually make kind of a wide range of soap products. It's obviously not just shaving soap. I almost dropped the brush there, by the way, because my hands are so slick from the soap that's on them. Every week I try a new product, and yes, I like and sometimes love the products that I'm using. And that's in part because there are just so few crappy products. They've been kind of weeded out. So what remains are just a series of very good shaving soaps. And if you're struggling with a soap today and you haven't found what you're looking for, drop it and move on. There are just so many options to choose from that you should absolutely not be struggling with a soap that you're not enjoying or that doesn't work for you. All right, this is a very light cleanup pass. This option has worked out much better than sort of struggling through a third pass and over buffing. And it is right here, right under the chin, where I feel like that is the most likely. If I'm gonna get just some irritation, it's gonna be right there. Here we go. As they say, basta così. Rinsing, not easy, which is a good thing. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. You know, you have to rinse it off, but this is not one of those soaps that just sort of instantly rinses off, which is good because it goes to show just how much residual slickness there is. All right, one more. There we go. Towel off. Yeah, that's a good leisurely shave there. Yeah, I can just do a touch right at the end there. Let's just clean that piece up. It's not like I'm rushing off for work today. Oh, wow, gorgeous. Okay, let me just quickly rinse that part. All right. Wow. No cuts or nicks this week. No weepers. A few spots where a bit of redness just as part of the sort of the third pass buffing. And also having shaved twice in a day, 2 days, you know, on Monday and Wednesday, and that is, in the scheme of things, a very efficient razor. So if you overdo it, you're also really affecting your skin. I'm really surprised at, in the end, just how well that has gone. Wow. Yeah, wonderful. All right, let's finish this off with a bit of some other green, which will be the mint from the Myrsol. There we go. Cooling, but really no sting, no burn. Wow, that went really, really well. What a great combination there. What a fantastic combination. Man, so happy with that. I mean, just how do you not just burst into a smile after that? I just don't know how you don't. That is just one of the sheer joys of this way of shaving, is that there is absolutely nothing about this that I find to be tedious or a chore. There's no part of this that I just shake my head and think, ugh, I don't really want to. Nope, that is not a thing. All right, let's go ahead and review the products because we are done. All right. Today, the 1931 or later 3-piece Gillette Goodwill on loan from Mr. Marks again. What a fantastic, cool design. And you'll note, by the way, that it's instantly recognizable for what it is, even though there's no company logo on there. So this, I think, is kind of I don't know, this seems to more stand the test of time than something too logo-ish, emboldened or, you know, blazoned on the top cap there. Very nice 3-piece razor, very efficient. I know why people call this sort of aggressive, maybe a little bit harsh depending on how you're doing it. Light pressure, just, you know, if you have to do a bit of an extra pass, don't worry about it. In the end results are fantastic, beautiful close shave, no issues there. Today's soap, the Saponificio Varesino de Felce Aromatica. What a fantastic scent on this thing. A beautiful light fern, very fresh, sort of outdoor scent. just smells good. It's not overpowering. It's not a very strong perfume. There it is again in the Captain's Choice lathering bowl. What I will do for that when I'm done, by the way, is I will take that out of the bowl. I will give it a good rinse, and then I will leave it sitting on just up on its side on a piece of wax paper, let it thoroughly dry for a couple of days, and then put it back into the box. I should show you what it comes in. Comes in a very cool kind of paper wrapper, so it'll actually go back into the box exactly as it was before after a couple of days of just some basic air drying. Today's brush, once again, the wonderful Semogue Owners Club boar. That thing had no issues with that soap, just absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, as a light refreshing end to that with a touch of mint is the Myrsol. This is the Formula C. Well, once again, we are done. That was fantastic. Well, I just want to say thank you again so much for watching. Really appreciate the time you're taking. As always, of course, please leave your comments and questions. I'll try to get back to those as quick as I can. Sometimes I'll answer those in the comments, and where I can and where it's appropriate, I'll try to answer those in the subsequent week's videos as well. So thank you once again so much, and until next time, goodbye.